welcome back. This week I had you hit me up with music and sports and movie questions. Let's get to it. We'll start off with music. Would you rather listen to Shake It Off or Old Town Road? Baby, I'm taking my horses all the way down to Old Town Road. What is the most overrated group of all time? Van Halen. Carrie Underwood or Taylor Swift? Is it wrong that I heard Shania Twain twice on the radio today and thought of you? Well, that depends on what you were thinking. Would you rather open for Florida Georgia Line or Taylor Swift? Yikes. I'd probably be respected by more people if I opened for Taylor Swift. That's tough. What would you wear to the ACL Fest after Guns N' Roses follows up Lauren Daigle? Well, I might go and I would wear my autographed Guns N' Roses shirt. Describe your songwriting process. I've always said that songs write themselves through stories that happen in life or really good jokes. You just kind of write down what's left of it. Usually I'll think of a melody first and apply the lyrics to it later. Have you always wanted to be a Texas country singer? No, in fact, I wanted to be a bass player in a southern rock band. And even that was only about 10 years ago when I started thinking about that. For me, I was afraid to let anyone hear my singing voice. I would literally hide in my closet to record demos and then not let anyone hear them until I could get a singer on board. The problem is, after a rotating door of singers, it got to the point where nobody wanted to sing any of my songs, and I said, screw you, I'm gonna go into the studio myself. And that is how A Long Time Coming happened. NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? Ooh, I respect the Backstreet Boys more because they're still out there doing their thing, and NSYNC can't get it together because they're waiting on one person. Is Trailer Trap a gimmick or is it here to stay? I'm afraid it's here to stay, but I actually, guilty confession here, I have a few artists that I do like to listen to. Sarah Ross, Demon Jones, I love that song Blanco Brown did, I'll admit it. You love the 80s, I love the 90s, but the 70s are the best, right? Well, not exactly. The bands I like from the 80s are mostly the rock bands, and some of them started in the 70s but didn't start really sounding good until the 80s. Exception to that would be Leonard Skinner, because Free Bird, Sweet Home Alabama, all the songs came from the 70s. When it comes to country, the 70s and 80s were great, way better than today, but I grew up on 90s country, so I gotta go with that. I'm just gonna say no to the 70s. What is the worst instrument? The accordion, the bagpipes, or mayonnaise? The worst instrument is, it's whatever this fake drum track stuff comes from up in Nashville, that click track. It's not even a real instrument. It's horrible. Stop doing it. What is your earliest music memory? Alan Jackson winning new vocalist or new male vocalist of the year at the ACMs in like 1991. I was 2 or 3 years old and I'm watching country music with this kind of intrigue on TV, and all I could think was, why does this blonde-headed grown man not have a haircut? Back when the ACMs played country music. What is your favorite movie? My top 6 or 7 or 8, whatever we're up to now, would be the Star Wars movies, but I just loop them all as one continuous story, except for maybe Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. After Star Wars, Will Ferrell movies. Old school, semi-pro, Casa de mi Padre. What is your favorite chick flick? Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. What do you think of the new Star Wars movies? So far, so good. Look, they're not going to be as good as what we grew up with, but that's a given. But I think children who are born today and grow up on Star Wars, they're going to enjoy it, just like we enjoyed the old ones. But they better not mess it up with this next one. If you could watch only one movie forever, would you choose Spider-Man 3 or The Phantom Menace? Phantom Menace. Thank you, Darth Maul. Everyone acts like we hated that movie, but we all had the action figure and the toy lightsaber. What is your favorite Lord of the Rings movie? I always get this Alamo feeling when I'm watching The Two Towers. I love original lineups of cast, whether it's a band or a movie, so Fellowship of the Ring would get me, but Return of the King was probably the best one. I mean, it had like 800 endings. Who would you want to star in a movie about yourself? I got asked this by 3 different people and I'm not sure. If Jimmy Stewart was still alive, he would definitely play me. Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Not yet, but I heard it's good. What is your favorite John Wayne movie? I grew up watching so many of those with my dad that I can't just name one. The one that always just pops in my head is El Dorado with John Wayne and James Caan. What's the hype over Star Wars? You need to go to church. You've had over 40 years to learn. Will the Arizona Coyotes go to Houston? I really hope so. Houston deserves a hockey team. And if you think Houston shouldn't have hockey because it's hot, we're talking about the Arizona Coyotes. But until then, go Canes. Rugby or football? Well, considering this is America, not Australia, I'm gonna go with football. Pick one, the Cowboys or the Cowboys? Well, between Wyoming, Oklahoma State, Dallas, and Hardin-Simmons, I gotta go with Wyoming, because that's what Walt Longmire would do. When Austin gets an MLS team, will you go to a game and watch them play the Dynamo with me? Yes, it'll be the one time I go to Austin to wear orange at a sporting event. The Rockets have Russ and Harden. Will you finally watch the NBA? I already watched the NBA. I just get tired of watching them choke in the playoffs the same way under D'Antoni every year, and I don't have time to watch every game, but I still love them. Hey, I want to thank you guys for following my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, and also thank you for those of you who've been at these last few shows at Carousel Lounge in Austin, Jay Neely's and Arusha's here in Belton. I did want you to know that we have some coming up. August 23rd at the Beltonian Theater, September 14th in Argyle, September 21st in Canyon, and October 5th at Bumbershoot Barbecue back in Argyle. Looking forward to seeing you guys.